I started experiencing this when I was in class, from 5, second term. When I started experiencing this in class, at times when I sit in class, I find myself sleeping. So when I find myself sleeping, I was carried to the hospital. When I went to the house now, my junior brother discovered. He went and called my parents. I was carried to the hospital. I started receiving it after I was consulted in the hospital. So the doctor said such is a illness. So I started receiving some treatment. After the treatment, I was taken to a traditional doctor. I took a traditional doctor medicine for close to, let me say, 3 weeks for the medicine to get finished. But after that, now I had some problems. I went back. I stopped the medicine for that for close to 3 months. But after that, when I went to Boyana, so my father in the home, he said he saw me having such and he was asking, and I told him. So I was carried to another hospital in Boya. In Boya, from Boya, they prescribed the hospital in Douala. So I went there. They gave me the prescribed another medicine, even though it was difficult for me to have the medicine. So so even up to now, I was asked to continue with the Finabat that I'm taking even up to now. Though even I have let me say the crisis I have, I don't feel when I got, it's like I got off my senses for my friends to ask that what happened. For I can try to convince them that is what happened. That stopped me from. If we were playing something like a ball, they asked what happened. If I tell them no, I was not okay. That's why I stopped. I was out.
How has that affected your relationship with your friends, your classmates, and so on?
No, we are all fine in class. We have no problems. Even though at times they ask, let me say, the only place I can say. They can ask me such things when, let me say, I go off when I'm playing, yeah. And then many have been complaining that the anger I have is too much as compared as I was before.
How do you react now that these people have come to provide free screening and free training?
No, I'm happy for that. I also encourage those that are, let me say, before this, like I had the illness, so I pretend myself to hide myself to say no. But surprising to see that all over, I see many people. But I'll call on those that are home, that are hiding from themselves to take the treatment. Though the treatment is free, that wherever they are, even if it's not free, wherever they are, they should come up for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You speak French? Look into the camera there, this one. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Just talk to us how you react to a gesture like this one. An association coming in to provide free medical care to people here in Lebialem Division.
Okay, thank you very much. As Divisional Delegate of Social Affairs, with the target population, which is mostly of needy persons, I feel happy that a humanitarian association like this one has come to assist the needy population of this area. I'm very happy about it, and if they can come more often, I think that it will help to relieve some of the persons with relief of some of their pains that they are having.
What are some of the problems faced by this population?
Mostly it is problem of isolation, poverty, and lack of information, and the rest. Yes, because it is very difficult for them to even come to the headquarters in Menji like this because of the poor road infrastructure in the hinterlands. And then even when they have to come, they have to trek on for a number of days, particularly those from a place like Essoh-Attah, from Wabane and so on. It's very difficult for them. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Please, Mr. Delegate, just a few words in French.
Your Majesty, how do you react to this gesture here, something that you started?
First of all, I'm very grateful that this activity is taking place today in order to identify some illnesses people are facing and try to see how they can be remedied. And that's why we signed a convention with Ottawa as our foundation in order to alleviate the suffering of our people. That's why we are here. The Lebialem Funds is represented by me here in order to show appreciations to this organization. I also encourage them too that we are very grateful for what they are doing to our people.
Majesté, quelle appréciation vous faites de cette initiative?
Your Majesty, just tell us, huge population turning out today for an exercise like this one, a humanitarian gesture. How do you react having this team of medical doctors in your kingdom?
Thank you very much. I am indeed very happy. I am a happy man today. I'm a happy fun today to see that a team of medical experts of this magnitude can come to my Fontem to help the people of my Fontem and the people of Lebialem as a whole, because our people have suffered. Government is playing their own role to see that the people can get the most they can, and a team like this comes to equally supplement the efforts of government. So I am indeed actually happy to see the people turning out in their numbers since morning. They have been, as you have seen, the population out here are coming to get treatment of their various diseases. So it shows that the people are actually happy. Their turnout, it shows their gratitude to this team. So as the fund, I want to express my gratitude to this team who have traveled from far and near to come and help my people to identify their diseases, give them free drugs. They are doing free consultations, and it's a marvelous job which I can only be grateful to the Almighty God. Thank you.
Your Majesty, I'm going to ask you please, let's move a little bit from here. We'll just continue with our interview now for radio. It's meant for a program on the national station called Discovery. We want people to discover Fontem and the difference between Fontem and Menji. There's often this confusion between Fontem and Menji. Probably let's move again, because these women may start talking and they want to greet the phone. Okay, thanks. Yes, I'll ask you somewhere along the lines. We'll run the interview. Yes, Your Majesty, we're glad to be with you. Could you present Fontem to the outside, to the national community and the outside world?
Thank you very much. Fontem is the land in Lebialem. It's very vast. The name Fontem is very vast. So when we talk of Fontem, you're talking of either the fund, you're talking about the subdivision. So Fontem is a subdivision in Lebialem Division. Fontem is the name which I bear. I'm the founder of Fontem, which represents Lebang Kingdom. So Fontem can be looked in various capacities or in diverse ways.
As a name, what does it mean? A name of a human being, a name of the fund?
Fontem came from the late funds of Lebang, which implies a fund who shoots. Fontem, that's the fund who shoots. So that's the sole origin, which was originated from the fund of Fontem during the resistance with the Germans.
The shooting you are talking about is shooting at the war front?
Yes, it was during the resistance that the name originated.
Now, as a subdivision, Fontem, what is the difference between Fontem and Menji?
Menji is found in Lebang, and Menji is the headquarters of the division, Lebialem Division. So Menji is the town in Lebang hosting the divisional headquarters. So that's Menji. And there is actually no difference between, you cannot compare Fontem and Menji because Menji is in Fontem. So there is actually no difference which can be...
So Fontem is bigger as a subdivision and Menji is a town in Fontem or Lebialem Division?
Yes, I can say so.
Who are the people of Fontem? Who are these people?
Look at it in terms of the division, the subdivision, the people of Fontem subdivision are made up of the people of Lebang Kingdom and the people of Essoh-Attah and Jogwi. Those are the people that make up the Fontem subdivision. But coming to the name, being the font of Fontem, I'm the font of the Lebang people. So that's the two aspects which you can look at it.
In terms of culture, is there any difference between the Lebang people and people from Essoh-Attah or people from Wabane?
We are a people who have similar cultures. There may be slight differences, but we have similar culture, we have similar language. So we can say we are one people united in our culture, which differs very slightly, but still in the same line.
What is the common ground for all these people in Lebialem Division when it comes to issues of culture vis-a-vis respect for traditional authority?
In Lebialem Division, we have 17 fonts. So first of all, we recognize ourselves as the fonts of the people, the custodians of the people. The Lebialem Division is very vast. It has different cultures with respect to the different subdivisions, the different fondoms. So we identify ourselves as a division. First of all, we identify ourselves, we the fonts, identify ourselves as fonts of these people. So we are related in the fact that we are fonts of our people.
It would appear the Lebang people, they have roots more linked to the people of Nchang or some people in the West region than the rest of the Southwest region, or maybe the Northwest region.
I don't understand.
Where are the roots of the people of Lebang? Where do they come from?
The history of the people of Lebang is a very diverse one, which cannot be explained just right away.
In a short program like
this one. In a short program like this one. It's a very long history, which I would think that it can make a subject for a subsequent.
Summary wise, in a very summarizing manner, where would you say the Lebang people came from? Because, for example, I come from Batibo, belonging to the Widikum tribe. We came from Nigeria. Where would you say the Lebang people came from?
That equally, I wouldn't say a word because it is a very diverse and interesting history, which shouldn't be sublet or subdivided into few words. So I would recommend that we have a subsequent interview to actually elaborate the history, the interesting history of the origin of the Lebang people.
Now, to conclude this interview, Your Majesty, if someone were to come get married to a daughter from Lebang land, what are the immediate things being asked for bride price?
That is an interesting one. Well, in Lebang, we welcome people from different areas of Cameroon. We are people who are open to others, and we have a couple of marriages which are people of Lebang and of other areas. We do not sell our daughters. All what we wish for our daughters is a happy union. So coming to get married to a daughter of Lebang, probably your son or your relative may come. We demand the basics. We just need to satisfy the immediate family who have done or contributed to the upbringing of the child. So a little satisfaction to them is what we actually need.
So the most important aspects of what will be asked, like in the form of dowry, what are the issues? A goat, a pig, or what?
Definitely there is a pig, there is a mother's sword, there is a girl's sword, and there is father's collar. So just basic items like that.
Okay, thanks, Your Majesty. It was a pleasure receiving you on Daybreak over the national station.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
It's only in English now, because we don't need to do French here.
We have a French language journalist here. We are doing a bilingual report at the end of the day.
Which Cameroon? Oh. Okay. Everything you want. I'm free.
Okay.
Well, so where am I supposed to look? The camera or the journalist? Okay.
Doctor, talk to us about this campaign and why the emphasis has been on epilepsy.
Yes, I'm so grateful to be part of this big campaign concerning epilepsy and other kind of illness, because the organizer, Antonia Chungong, who is in US, and Bibian, who is here with her group, came to this nice hospital to reduce people's suffering this day. As you saw yourself, we received more than 500 people who came for different kind of illness. And luckily we have a neurologist who handled all the epileptic cases, and they will receive drugs for free. And they came 100 for that, because it was a free treatment. Those ladies decided to give back to the community, and I think this is their honor. I was invited here like as someone who supposed to set up the other part of the health. So we brought in our team a gyne, a pediatrician, and surgeons, and internal medicine. So also we receive 100 patients, and this is the end of the day, and most of the patients receive their treatment free, and the hospital allow us to use the buildings and provide all the facilities to reduce those suffering. So I'm very grateful to be part of this kind of mission.
Is there any particularity about epilepsy in this environment?
It's not only this environment, because you have in the Northwest other places where you find people with epilepsy, like in Kulabei. And we know we are a group working every weekend in Cameroon, so we know a lot of places. You have other places in Bafia. It's very difficult to explain why those particularities of those places. But I think the government also try to take care of those patients by follow them, because this is the best part. Follow them, provide medication for them every day, and because it's a daily treatment and it's a very long treatment and very expensive, and control the number of crises.
Now, in terms of treatment, is there anything new the group has brought here in terms of treatment?
No, in terms of treatment, no. We never brought something new, but we brought education. I think the neurologists and this team decide to educate the population, educate the family, bring the drugs, because epilepsy is not only the medication will treat you, it's also the environment. So you need your people and the family need to have a lot of knowledge to take care of those patients. And for example, we don't need to be afraid of those patients, because it's not the contagious things, but people think sometimes that it will be contagious. No, I think the neurologists did a very, very good job, and I'm so happy for those people.
What is your message to the population with regards to their attitude vis-a-vis this group of people?
First of all, I want to congratulate the population of Fontem who answer to this mission, who decided to come here today, because this population was quiet. Because this population, look at it now, they are there quiet, they online everywhere. If you go to the ophthalmologist, they are waiting. If you go to the dentist, they are waiting. The neurologist, they are waiting. They are not fighting. This is something very rare, because we are always in the villages, and it's not so easy like here. I want to congratulate this population, and I want to allow them to follow all the message, the governmental message about this endemic illness, and to follow what the neurologist says about education of patient who has epilepsy and the other kind of patient. And the other thing is to allow the hospital and the organizer to repeat this kind of mission, because we are in a poor country, and if you have a healthy population, you will have a development.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
look into the camera.
Okay.
About me. Mom, talk to us about this campaign, how it all started, how you came about with this idea with your family.
Well, I think it was back in 2014 when I met Josh, or 2013 in Maryland. He was visiting. He came actually to receive an award, and I met him in my brother's house. And I'm a nurse by profession, and he was talking about what he does. And I said, yeah, that is a good idea. That's what I love doing also. And I said, whenever they have a mission, just let me know. I would love to be part of that mission. So we organized one actually in my father's honor in my home village, Awing. They came there and we hosted them for about 3 days. The villagers were happy and we were happy. We were impressed with what we saw, how they were organized, how they carry on. And I myself, I was impressed to see the number of young people that are doing work like this in the country for free. So after that mission, I went back and I said, what can we do there? When people were saying, when are you guys coming back? I said, that would be selfish to say, let's focus only in our wing. Let's take them someplace else. How about Fontem? So I happen to be on the board of directors for my sister-in-law's foundation, which is Gbmem Epilepsy Foundation. So I said, why don't we use them to bring awareness about epilepsy in Fontem? Because I understand there's a high prevalence of epilepsy in this region. I said, let's use them to bring out more people so we can create more awareness about epilepsy. So I got in touch with Josh and I said, hey, when are you free? When can we go to Fontem? So he said, how about April? When in April? I said, how about the weekend of the 22nd? 22nd happened to be my birthday. Yeah. Tomorrow is the 23rd. It will be 15 years since my mother-in-law passed. I said, how about a perfect celebration? Let them come here and we can celebrate together and give back to the community. So that's how we came up with the idea. And I'm happy about the turnout. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just tell us how the exercise has been receiving patients suffering from epilepsy.
I think it's been something which is usually not easy, but I think today was a more regular day because the patients, is the third time we're coming here on mission to see patients with epilepsy at Fontem. So it was more organized. The patients we are following up, they already know themselves, and there was a clear list of patients with epilepsy that we have to follow up and prescribe medications for.
What is particular about epilepsy and this locality?
Epilepsy is particular in that it is a neurological condition which is characterized by chronic repeated seizures, that's repeated convulsions. And usually there are several myths or misconceptions about epilepsy, that people think it is contagious or they think it is something that is caused by witchcraft, and it makes it that the patients develop some stigma with respect to that illness. Now, with respect to this locality, it's like there are many patients suffering from epilepsy in this particular area, and usually in areas in Cameroon where you have many people suffering with epilepsy, infections have been incriminated, mostly infections that can involve the nervous system and especially the brain. So whenever infections involve the brain, they leave with sequelae that can lead to convulsions afterwards.
So what happens if careful attention is not given to these people?
If careful attention is not given to these people, usually they will convulse. Without treatment, they will develop other cognitive dysfunctions. They will develop other memory problems or other something like mental retardation. Or just the seizures themselves can lead to other complications, because we have had situations where During convulsions, a patient can maybe get burns, or maybe falls under in fire, or maybe falls in a stream and dies. So there are such complications that are possible. And usually they will not live a normal life, especially with respect to the stigma that is related. So patients with epilepsy, they will have difficulties with schooling. Most of these patients are taken away from school with the notion that no, they cannot do well in school. In terms of job, most employers don't like employing patients that are suffering from epilepsy. And then in terms of social life also, marriage is difficult for them to get married or to stabilize a couple, because usually when the other person discovers that they are suffering from epilepsy, there is that stigma that causes the separation. So that's it for what these people suffer. But it should be known that epilepsy is a disease that can be treated, and that for more than 70% of the patients, if they take their treatment very well, they will live a normal life. So there are treatments that are available, specific treatments for specific types of epilepsy, and most of the time there are drugs that cover most of the types of epilepsy. So today what we're doing was basically consulting and distributing drugs freely for most of those patients.
Okay, thanks very much, Doctor. Talk to us how many children you received today and the problems they came with.
Thank you. Today it was pretty busy in the morning. We started around 10 o'clock, and till present I received about 62 patients. And we had a variety of pathology. For children with convulsion that we are suspecting that they may be epileptic, we have about 4, but there's a twin that I'm very sure that it's one of the atypical form of epilepsy in children. So we referred to the neurologist. The other one, they came in with recurrent convulsion from a later age, from 6 years old, and it's very abnormal that children from 6 years, even though they have convulsion with fever, I think they should be explored for the possibility of having epilepsy. So I also refer to the neurologist so that they will do further workup for that. And then we have a variety of pathology from chicken pox, fungal infection, skin fungal infection, scabies, infected scabies, asthmatic cases. Then we had malaria. We have malaria. We had some sickle cell, and one pertinent case that I had with 5 grams of hemoglobin that I proposed hospitalizing, but the mother is like not wanting to hospitalize, or not wanting hospitalization. So we have a variety of pathology. Really, it's a rundown: urinary tract infection, vulvovaginitis, a lot of different.
For skin infection, what could be the problem? Scabies and the like?
Scabies, I think the hygienic condition also counts also, because it has been so recurrent that they don't know that they have to treat everybody together. They have to treat their clothing and beddings and treat all the children together. So at least it's like isolation treatment, which will not work because after some time it will recur. So I think the hygiene is also important.
Thank you. Doctor, talk to us some of the things the local people here do to treat epilepsy, which is not normal.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Teke.
I think the first thing is that people have a lot of misbeliefs and misconceptions about epilepsy. One of those is that epilepsy is caused by witchcraft or it is a curse. So when a patient is suffering from epilepsy, usually the family would first of all seek the attention of either traditional practitioners or witch doctors, as they are called, and the practices or what they do to treat epilepsy varies. Some of them use plants, some of them use maybe other potions or traditional concoctions, but at times it can be very, very difficult because in trying to treat the epilepsy, the patients can suffer more problems. For example, we have cases where in trying to treat epilepsy, a patient can have scarifications, or patients can be bitten, as in the image that we saw. We have a patient who is bitten on the neck so that the blood should flow and the curse should get out from the brain. And usually those wounds, they leave the patients with scars, and those scars are more stigmatizing even than the epilepsy itself, because with epilepsy you have the stigma when you have a seizure and people see you. But with the scar, it is always there and it is always visible. So it becomes a double psychological trauma. And another problem that people with epilepsy suffer is in seeking treatment, some of them maybe, apart from scarifications, burns. We have had situations where a patient is maybe burnt so as to remove or to burn away the curse that caused the epilepsy. I've had a situation of a child that the mother herself caused a wound on the forehead of the child so as to let the evil blood flow away from the child's brain. So there are several things that are done, and the most common one also is women who take children and put their head on pit toilets so that they should, I don't know, send out the curse or whatever. So there are several misconceptions, several malpractices that are done with respect to epilepsy care, not only in this region but in our country entirely. And one of the roles that we are playing is to dispel all those myths that are around epilepsy.
Thank you.